All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to connect two worlds that feel miles apart. The super high-tech, global world of artificial intelligence in farming, and a very real, very grounded story from a river island in Assam, India. And you know the thing that links them? It might just change how you think about technology.
So let's start with a number. 9.9 billion. What is that? Well, that's the UN's projection for the world's population by the year 2050. It is a huge number, and it immediately makes you ask one really big question.
Exactly. I mean, how are we going to feed all those people? To pull it off, experts think we'll need to increase global food production by almost 98%. The way we've always farmed, it's just not going to cut it. This is the massive challenge staring us right in the face.
So, what's the plan? Well, a lot of people are looking to something called smart agriculture. Think of it as a totally data-driven way of farming, using tech to squeeze every last drop of productivity and efficiency out of the land. And right at the heart of all of this, you've got artificial intelligence.
A huge piece of this puzzle is a technology called computer vision. And honestly, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's all about teaching computers how to see. Not with actual eyes, of course, but with cameras and really smart algorithms, letting them analyze everything from crops to soil to livestock in ways that are, well, a total game changer.
And here is a perfect example of what that really means. An AI can look at an image of a leaf and spot the super subtle signs of a disease or some nutrient problem way before a human farmer might ever notice. And catching it that early, that can be the difference between a great harvest and a total loss.
And the accuracy here is just unreal. In one study, researchers used a public dataset to build a model that could spot diseases on potato leaves with 95% accuracy. I mean, this isn't science fiction anymore. This stuff is happening in labs right now.
And spotting diseases? That's just the tip of the iceberg. AI is being put to work all over the farm. Just look at this toolkit. Analyzing seed quality with more than 97% accuracy. Managing soil health, precisely targeting weeds so you use less herbicide, automating irrigation, even keeping an eye on the health of livestock. The potential here is just massive.
And it even gets into the nitty-gritty of livestock farming. I mean, this is where it gets really wild. One study actually trained an AI model to recognize individual pigs just by their faces, and it got it right 96.7% of the time. That lets farmers track the health and behavior of every single animal all at once.
Okay, so we have all this incredible, powerful technology. It's amazing. But what happens when it leaves the perfect world of the lab and meets the messy reality of a real working farm? To figure that out, we need to go to a very specific place, Assam, India. And what's interesting is that's actually where the authors of the AI paper we're talking about are from.
This is where our story takes a sharp turn. Because for all its power to spot a microscopic disease on a leaf, what does a fancy AI model do when it's faced with a problem like this? A problem that just washes the entire farm away.
Welcome to Majuli. It's one of the biggest river islands on the planet. And for the farmers who live there, huge, destructive floods every single year are just a fact of life. Their biggest enemy isn't some tiny pest, it's the river itself. So, what's their solution?
This is Sabin Khalida. He's not using some deep learning algorithm. He's using a low-tech but totally brilliant idea, floating raft-based farming. And you know what? It works. These simple floating beds let him grow vegetables even when his entire field is underwater.
And this brings us to the real heart of the issue, right? You have this huge gap between the world of AI that recognizes pigs and the world of Sabin Khalida's floating farms. So why? Why isn't all this powerful technology actually reaching the people who might need it?
Well, the researchers themselves point out the biggest reasons. A lot of farmers are hesitant to jump on new tech because, they have limited knowledge of how to even use it, the startup costs are really high, or they just haven't been shown how it could really benefit them.
And it's not just about money or education. There are some serious technical roadblocks to getting these AI models out of the computer and into a farmer's hands. The researchers identified 4 big ones.
Okay, let's break them down real quick. First, data. AI needs tons and tons of data to learn, and that's hard to get on a farm. Second, the model itself. Just picking and setting up the right one is super complicated. Third, security. You've got to protect all that sensitive farm data. And finally, deployment. Actually getting the model to run on a simple device a farmer can actually use, that's often the biggest hurdle of them all.
So here we are with these 2 separate worlds, powerful global tech on one side and very specific local needs on the other. The gap feels huge. But what if the solution wasn't a better algorithm, but a better way to talk to each other?
I mean, think about that limited knowledge barrier. What if you could just ask the most advanced agricultural AI in the world for advice, in your own native language? What if the technology could just meet you right where you are?
And this is where a project developed right there in Assam comes into the picture. So you have these big global AI models that are incredible, but they're built for everything. Own.ai, though, is different. It's designed with a laser focus. They call it a 24/7 genius friend that speaks Assamese perfectly. Just imagine a farmer like Sabin Kalita being able to ask super complex questions about soil types or market prices in his own language and getting a smart, instant answer.
And suddenly everything starts to click into place. We've seen the global problem, the high-tech answers, the reality on the ground, and all the things standing in the way. The final piece of this whole puzzle might just be about translation, not just of language, but of the technology itself. And that really gets to the core idea here. True, game-changing innovation, it isn't just about who can build the most powerful computer brain. It's about accessibility. It's about building a floating raft when your farm floods. And it's about building an AI that can speak to the person who needs its help the most.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought to chew on. As we build these technologies that are more and more powerful, maybe the real challenge isn't just making them smarter. Maybe it's about making them more human, more accessible, and ultimately more local.